Hello, everyone, and welcome to the top 10 essential oils for horses live class. I'm so excited to talk to you today about my two absolutely most favorite things in the whole world. Well, I guess like my second and third favorite thing, since my favorite thing is Jesus. But horses and essential oils. You will find that horses and essential oils really go well together. And a lot of horse people don't know that essential oils can help them and really make a big difference in the performance of their horse and in their performance as well, whether they're competing or going out on trails or even just caring for senior horses or rescue horses. So I'm really excited to share this with you today. Let me go ahead and share my screen. Let's see here how to do that. Is it here? Yeah. There we go. The very last one, of course. Okay. Let me know, those of you watching live, let me know if you can see my screen. I would really appreciate that. It would be very helpful. And let me see if I can actually play my slideshow. Cool. Okay, so if you can see that, let me know. And let's go ahead and get started. So I am Dr. Janet Roark. I am a veterinarian in Austin, Texas. So we have a lot of horses in Austin, Texas. This area is really big in the hunter jumper world. We have a lot of hunter jumper barns around here, a lot of dressage. But we definitely love to use essential oils here in Austin. So I use them in my practice, Hill Country Mobile Veterinary Service. And of course, we have our little FDA disclaimer here as well. Feel free to read that. Obviously, I'm not going to be diagnosing, treating, curing, or preventing any diseases today, but just educating you about how to use essential oils with horses safely and effectively. So before we get started too much into this, I do want to know what you guys want to learn about today. We're going to be discussing some basics. Really just this is kind of an essential oils for horses 101, the top 10 oils that we use. And we're definitely going to be covering the top 10 oils. We're going to be talking about what an essential oil is for those of you that aren't familiar with essential oils yet, why we use them and how we use them with horses, and a little bit about doTERRA and why doTERRA is the most highly recommended essential oil company when it comes to using those oils with horses specifically. And then if there's anything else you want to make sure that we cover today, for those of you watching live, go ahead and post that, and I will be sure to cover it. So what are essential oils? So essential oils are, for those of you that don't know, are naturally occurring, they're volatile aromatic compounds. So a lot of people think oil and they think, oh, it's going to be greasy like olive oil or coconut oil. And these are not like that. They're called oils because they are lipid soluble, which means they can penetrate the lipid layer like on your skin. And for those of you that are on horses, you know, like DMSO, for example, is a lipid soluble substance medication. And so it works sort of similarly. It can go directly from the skin into the bloodstream, but it doesn't leave a greasy residue if it's a pure essential oil. Now, if you're diluting it with something like fractionated coconut oil or olive oil or avocado oil, of course, you're going to have that greasy residue with those particular oils. They're found in the seeds, bark, stems, roots, flowers, and other parts of plants. And the reason why I really started getting into essential oils is because of their potency, particularly with horses, because a lot of people use herbs and things like that, supplements with their horses. And essential oils are actually much more concentrated when they're distilled for purity, potency, and efficacy. So they're actually 50 to 70 times stronger than herbs. And so you're going to get that therapeutic benefit a lot faster and you're not going to have to use as much when you're talking about using essential oils. Now, essential oils have been around for a while, and they've historically been used for healthcare, food practices, food preparations. You actually are probably consuming essential oils without even knowing it, in different kinds of dressings, salad dressings, and juices and things like that you purchase from the grocery store. So definitely things that have been used, the different ways we've used essential oils throughout history. So why are we going to use essential oils, and why are we going to use them with horses? Essential oils actually provide health-conscious individuals a safe and natural alternative to some of the traditional type of things that are out there. They're used for a wide range of emotional, behavioral, and physical wellness applications. And a lot of times when we talk about emotional things with animals, what we see that manifested as is stress responses and behavioral problems. So essential oils actually have very few, if any, undesirable side effects when they're used as directed, and one drop is often all that's needed to achieve a powerful, powerful benefit. Unfortunately, not all essential oils are created equally, right? So the problem with essential oils and the essential oil industry is that they've gained a lot of popularity. And so everybody, is interested in essential oils and learning more and wanting to use them and getting them cheap. And so all of the places where you can purchase these types of things have kind of hopped on the bandwagon, so to speak. And so you can actually go to the grocery store, or you can go to a pharmacy, or you can go to, really honestly, I've seen them in the very strange, like technology stores. Like, it's very strange, all the people who are trying to hop on this bandwagon, and like makeup companies are trying to sell them and everything like that. And so because they're popular and because they can make some money off of it, right? So unfortunately, there's no industry-wide standard. So essential oils are considered supplements, and supplements are not regulated very well in the United States, and they certainly aren't, there's not a lot of rules and regulations about them. And so you can actually go to the store and buy what's called an essential oil, and there's actually no essential oil in there. It's a synthetically made fragrance. The problem with those synthetic things that are calling themselves essential oils is that they're actually very unsafe and toxic to horses. They're known hormone and endocrine disrupting substances, especially in the United States. Things that the FDA allows is a little bit scary. And so unfortunately, essential oils are distributed, even if it is a real essential oil, they're often distributed through brokers, middlemen, third-party people that, they want to make more money, and so they'll often cut the oil with, the pure essential oil with, either carrier oils or synthetics or other essential oils. And so when you're purchasing, say, a bottle of Melissa, you might not be getting Melissa because it's a very, very expensive oil. It's very difficult to harvest. The flowers are very, very small, and it's only a certain time of year that you can do it. And so essential oils that you purchase might not be actually essential oils. And so the way to kind of combat that is to buy from a company that has integrity. And so you can see on this chart here, there's synthetic essential oils. There are food grade essential oils, which are great. They taste great. They smell great. They're put in your food. They're totally safe, but they don't really have any therapeutic value. And then you have therapeutic oils, and then you have that extra level above and beyond, which are doTERRA's certified pure therapeutic grade oils. So why doTERRA is different than the other companies out there is a lot of different things, and we'll go through some of them, not all of them. We don't have time for all of them today, but they are properly labeled, 100% labeled. They do what's called co-impact sourcing, so the plants are grown and harvested in their ideal conditions, their ideal climate, soil, rainfall. They're harvested at the correct time. They're sustainably and responsibly sourced to be a fair trade, which means that we're paying our farmers who have grown these plants in their families for generations a fair wage throughout the year, regardless of how much is harvested and things like that. We're still going to make sure that their families are provided for. And so a lot of that is reflected in, unfortunately, the price of the bottle, which is what we're paying for. So what you're paying for is making sure that those farmers get paid so that they can feed their families and things like that. Really, that's what it comes down to. You're also paying for all the different testing and stuff on these oils so that you're getting the purest, best oils. And for me, as a veterinarian, this was huge. This was huge. I was like, I am not going to be using essential oils on animals unless I know what's in that bottle of essential oil. So doTERRA came up with this term called Certified Pure Therapeutic Grade. And this is a doTERRA term. It's not an FDA term or anything like that. And basically what it comes down to, guys, is Certified Pure Therapeutic Grade is actually beyond organic. It's better than the USDA standard of organic. It's a verified internal standard of excellence. We know it's in every single liter of essential oil. We can actually look that up online. We can look up the tests that were run on it. We can look up what exactly is in that bottle of oil, which to me is huge. They're safe, they're effective, and then there's that consistent high quality. So if I get a bottle of peppermint today and I need to use it on an animal or on a person, honestly, or it's super hot in Texas. I use peppermint a lot on myself and on my clients. But I need to make sure that it's the same stuff that I got. It's the same chemical composition that I got in a bottle of peppermint, 6 months ago. And so there's that consistent high quality. And the problem with essential oils is a lot of times you might get one good bottle and then 6 months later there's a bad harvest or something happened and you're going to get a poor quality oil in 6 months. And so research for years and years and years hadn't been able to be done on essential oils because of that inconsistency from bottle to bottle, even within the same company. Well, doTERRA has kind of remedied that. There's that consistency between the bottles. If they're not exactly the same because they're using different plants, obviously, but they're consistent enough to be able to actually do research on. So we actually have a lot of research out there showing that essential oils work, that they're awesome, and that they're effective. And they also do rigorous testing internally as well as third-party testing. That website that I talked to you about, source2u.com, that's the website you can go and plug in the lot number on the bottom of your essential oil bottle. So here's a bottle of peppermint. I don't know if you can see my screen, but you can see there at the top there is a lot number. You can type that in and actually get the third-party test results from source2u.com and see what is in that bottle if you so desire. So scientists, scientific-minded people, veterinarians, doctors, they might be very interested in that. So let's talk about essential oils specifically for horses. That's why you guys are here today. I always talk about self-selection. So when you're introducing an essential oils to a horse, make sure that actually, honestly, horses are naturally receptive to essential oils. They're herbivores. They love plants anyways. You can allow them to smell the oil first. So a lot of times I'll present the bottle of oil. Usually I'll just take the cap off with horses. They love it. They might, this is peppermint. So they might try to steal it from you or lick the bottle, things like that. But you can present it with the cap on as well if you're worried about spilling it or something like that. And then you just allow your horse to choose which oils they like. This can be a little tricky with horses because they love all of the oils a lot of times. And so they might be saying yes to all of the oils. You don't need to necessarily put all of the oils that they choose on them, but you can use your knowledge and what you learned today to kind of select which ones make the most sense for the situation that you're in that day. So be observant. Let them tell you what a yes or a no is with their behavior. So a yes might look like they're saying yes to that oil if they start licking and chewing, you have the Flayman's response or something like that. A no response might be they turn their head away, they back up a little bit, they start walking away, something like that. A neutral response, and sometimes we'll get these, is kind of indifference. There's no observed reaction. Sometimes I'll get this if I present peppermint to them first and they really like it, and then I present a more mild oil next, something like wild orange or something like that. And I might get a neutral response to that second oil because they're still working through processing the peppermint. And so you can space those out with time, and you might get a different response. Neutral responses, I will use those oils if I know that therapeutically that is what the horse needs. So that's not necessarily a no. They're just kind of like, meh, and that's okay. So the Flamon's response, for those of you that don't know or you're kind of newer into horses, is a behavior where they curl their upper lip up and they kind of extend their head. Sometimes they lift it up really high, and they hold this position for a couple of seconds. And what it does is it traps the scent, the smell that they're smelling in their vomeronasal organ. And so this is something that they'll do with some smells that are new to them, or something that they really like, or they want to kind of hold it in and smell it for a little bit longer and kind of let their brain analyze. This is absolutely 100% a positive response to a smell, especially when it comes to essential oils. You'll see stallions do this with mares as well. Okay, so how do you use essential oils around horses? It's really the same as what we talked about with dogs and with people. You can use them aromatically, topically, and internally. So with aromatic use, it's a little bit tricky with horses because, you might not want to set up a bunch of diffusers in your barn. It's not the ideal setting for that. Unless, of course, it's winter and or it's getting colder, they're closed inside a closed barn. In those cases, diffusion makes sense, or like in a tack room or something like that. So diffusion is a little bit tricky, but you can absolutely use them aromatically, whether it's through direct inhalation or whatever, and it can be very stimulating, calming, and soothing. Topically is pretty much the majority of what we use are topically and internally with horses. Topically, essential oils can be applied safely during massage or topical therapy. And basically the way that essential oils work is they do pass through that skin and you get an immediate systemic response. And it's pretty remarkable with horses. They're very telling of the response if you just watch their behavior. So internally, you can use it basically like a supplement, so a targeted wellness supplement. A large 15 milliliter bottle has about 250 drops in it, and really you only need 1 to 2 drops per 100 pounds of body weight for your horse. So really 2 drops twice a day in their feed is usually my starting recommendation, unless we're dealing with a really significant issue. So aromatically, kind of talked about this briefly. You can diffuse it in your barn or stall. You can use water misting, so spray it into the air, kind of like an air freshener. Direct inhalation, and the way you do that is you just put a drop or 2 on your hands, rub your hands together, and then present your hands to the animal and let them smell it. They can kind of get closer or farther away depending on their preference with how much they need. You can put it on a cloth or on their leather halter. You can spray it on their bedding. Hot water and steam is a little bit more difficult, but this is kind of a therapy that I like using with respiratory conditions. You end up getting some hot water in a bucket, and then kind of tenting it around their halter. So you tuck a towel in and kind of let the steam come up and let them breathe it in with the essential oils in it. In Texas, we have fans in all of our stalls, so you can actually tie a couple of pieces of cloth to the fan and put the essential oils on the fan, so they're actually diffusing, kind of a cheap natural diffuser into the stall that way. So those are some different ways you can use it aromatically. Now topical is the most common, and usually what I do is go along the spine directly from the bottle, and I usually use 5 or 6 drops of the essential oil. You can dilute it out with some fractionated coconut oil and get it in that way. Massage is another great way. You can apply it to the reflexology points, which is along the core neck band with horses. Ear tipping, now be careful with this one, especially if you have a horse that's head shy or doesn't like their ears touched. You certainly wouldn't use that application in those cases. A lot of horses love their ears rubbed, and if they like it and you put it on their ears, that's a great way to get it on there. You can, especially in the winter time when they're really fuzzy. And you can apply it directly to the area of interest. So if you have a lump or a bump or a scratch or a scrape or whatever, you can, or you're dealing with hoof problems, you can absolutely apply it directly to that area. You can mix a drop or two in their shampoo and apply it during bathing. You can use a hot or cold compress. And the way you do this is just 1 or 2 drops of the essential oil per 2 cups of either hot or ice water. Dip a cloth in there, a cotton cloth, bring it out, and then hold it on the affected area if you're talking about, trying to draw something out or something like that. So let's see what else. You can also make a spray and spray your brush while you're grooming and apply it topically that way. Or use a roller bottle or a spray bottle. These are probably the most common. Roller bottles, you want to make sure you roll it on your hand and apply it that way, as opposed to rolling it directly on the animal, because you don't want to contaminate the roller bottle. So internal use is pretty controversial, but doTERRA actually has a rigorous testing, protocol. We've already talked about that to ensure the purity and efficacy of each essential oil. This testing sets the bar for quality, purity, efficacy, and consistency. With that testing, you have confidence in knowing that these oils absolutely have the highest quantity of active beneficial constituents, and that it's free of contamination or adulteration. So for internal use of essential oils, I only recommend using doTERRA oils. I only recommend those that have the supplement facts label on them, so you can see there's that supplement facts label on them. Not all of doTERRA's oils have this. Some of the blends don't, and in those cases, you wouldn't use those ones internally, and we'll talk about that with the top 10 oils today, which ones you can use internally and not. But that is definitely a way you can use it. So I say it's not a very common way to use oils with horses, but I'm using it more and more lately. And so it can be very beneficial in certain circumstances. And so, and I'll give you guys kind of like a daily healthy protocol to follow at the end of this presentation as well. Cool. So different ways you can use essential oils internally with horses. You can mix it in with their feed. This is probably the easiest and the most common, especially if they just eat it up and they're indiscriminate about it. You can put it on a treat. You can place a drop on your finger and actually rub the residue on their gums. And then you can also apply it in their drinking water, but you want to make sure your horse continues to drink with it. And so you want to mix it with a little bit of carrier oil or glycerin or honey or molasses before you put it in their water. And then make sure you clean out their water buckets daily if you're doing that. You can also put it in their water troughs. It's very great for helping reduce algae and stuff like that. So the way we do it with, and you can also do like a dosing syringe. So put a drop of oil per 5 to 10 milliliters of carrier oil. I usually use, you can use corn oil or olive oil, or mineral oil, like really you can use any oil in a syringe, and then orally give it via dosing syringe. I really like olive oil. That's usually what I use. And you can mix it. You can even mix it with some applesauce and give it that way, just because they like the taste. So if they don't like it in their feed, we tend to do it that way. So those are some different ways. We're going to run through some safety tips. This is really just common sense, y'all. So make sure you're only using doTERRA oils. Know your horse's health status and the medications and supplements they're currently taking to make sure there's no interactions. There's very few out there, but some horses that have heart problems, you might want to double check that. And then you never want to use essential oils on or near their eyes, ears, nose, or genitals. Use caution when topically applicating the hot oils, and those are oregano, thyme, clove, cassia, and cinnamon. Dilution might be needed for these oils. I will say peppermint sometimes is considered hot, even though it's kind of a cooling effect. It's a very strong oil, so that one sometimes needs to be diluted as well. Do not use water to dilute an essential oil that you've already applied. So rather than trying to wash it off with a hose, dilute it with a carrier oil like fractionated coconut oil or vegetable oil first, and then use then you can bathe them normally once you dilute it first. Do not apply essential oils directly, especially without dilution, after bathing while the horse is still wet, or if it's summertime and they're still really sweaty. The exception being peppermint and like a water mist to help them cool down. That's totally fine. Do not use essential oils at the same time as another topical medication, including dermal patches. So if your horse is getting extensive treatment, this might be the case. I don't really recommend using it with really strong petroleum-based fly sprays as well. Don't panic if your horse has a skin reaction. Usually it's just like a teeny tiny welt, and it goes away usually within an hour or two, even without doing anything. But you can certainly dilute the area with a carrier oil. And don't apply oils to the saddle area prior to riding. That can be a little bit irritating. Remember, essential oils are very potent and strong. And then caution should be used around animals that are pregnant, nursing young, or on certain medications. That's just kind of a disclaimer there. And then oils to use during pregnancy. I will say I have used some of these oils during pregnancy and haven't had any problems, but you just want to be a little bit more careful around, using arborvitae, basil, birch, cassia, cinnamon, rosemary, thyme, and wintergreen. And that's just directed from the literature that's out there. I honestly haven't seen any problems with it using doTERRA oils. And then just observe your horse's behavior when you're using or applying essential oils. They will tell you if they're like, okay, I'm done with that one, or, oh my gosh, please just dump the whole bottle on me. Don't dump the bottle on them though, even when they ask you to, but you can apply it more frequently if it's one they really like or need. So let's talk about our top 10 oils today. My favorite oil in the whole world, Balance. This is a blend. It's our grounding blend. It has spruce, hoe wood, blue tansy, frankincense, German chamomile, as well as fractionated coconut oil. And it promotes whole body relaxation and a sense of tranquility. So it's very, very grounding. It helps ease anxiousness. It supports the nervous system. It's great for emotional balance and stress. It's great for a muscle and joint soreness. It relaxes those muscles and joints. It supports healthy emotions and healthy behaviors and promotes calmness. So this basically balances and helps the body return to homeostasis, which is normal. So like we have a little bit off balance this way. Balance actually helps you balance and get back to homeostasis. And this is a topical one. You do not want to use it internally. You can use it aromatically as well. And I really like to use this one for stressful situations like trailering, introducing a new animal to the herd. You're going to use this one. Basically, this is my first one in any of my protocols. So I always apply Balance first. It helps prepare the body to receive additional oils. And I love this one for any kind of circulation and that sort of thing as well. So love, love, love this oil. Everyone should just buy buckets of it, especially if you have horses. Our next oil that we're going to talk about in your kit is the Digestin, which is the digestive blend. So of course, one of the things that horse owners are super afraid of is when your horse's gut gets a little bit off balance, right? So we call this our tummy tamer blend. So it aids in digestion. It helps soothe abdominal uneasiness. It maintains overall digestive health. So anything to do with the digestive tract, y'all, this is the one that you're going to reach for. And I can't talk about specific diseases or conditions because it's going to be public, but this is a blend of ginger, fennel, coriander. Well, there's a whole bunch of other stuff in it, but those three oils in particular help ease occasional abdominal discomfort. And then peppermint, tarragon, aniseed, caraway, those aid in proper digestion and help maintain a healthy GI tract. So whether it's going too fast or going too slow, or you have kind of a little bit of discomfort there, that's what we use Digestin for. So basically all things digestive, right? So this one you can add 1 to 2 drops to their feed twice daily to help maintain a healthy GI tract. it eases feelings of abdominal uneasiness. You can use it with fractionated coconut oil topically for a soothing abdominal massage. It helps reduce bloating, gas, and occasional discomfort. And if you do have that kind of actively going on where there's some active discomfort, you want to do 20 drops on your hand. You can dilute it with some coconut oil and then massage their ventral midline, kind of where their umbilicus is. And then you can put in 10 to 20 drops, actually lift their lower lip and just drop it in their lower lip as well. But you're not going to do that regularly. That's going to be for those cases of those occasional discomfort situations. That's not an ongoing thing. You should certainly still call your veterinarian in those cases. And you can apply this one topically. This one's safe for internal use, and you can use it aromatically. Love this one. You never want to be without it. If you don't have it, you really are going to want to purchase this one today. Next, we're going to talk about lavender. Lavender is, well, everyone knows about lavender, right? It's for all things calming, whether you need your horse to actually physically calm down or you have a skin irritation that needs some calming. There's some redness there, and it's so good for the skin. So it soothes skin irritations and helps the skin recover quickly. It promotes relaxation, and it makes it an ideal oil to use when stress levels are high. So they actually did a study, I think it was the University of Minnesota several years back, diffusing lavender in stalls. And they used the same horses, so it was an equal control, and it was just a very controlled and unbiased study. And they were just diffusing lavender. And what they did is they did a startle response, and they were monitoring heart rate, head height, respiratory rate, and those sorts of things, several different factors. And they introduced a startle response, and then in this particular case, I believe it was a loud noise, so a startle type of thing, and it was a loud noise. And the horses that had the lavender diffusing, one, their response wasn't as high, and two, their heart rates came down and a lot faster. And so there was a less of a reaction just with diffusing lavender. So this stuff really works, guys. So it promotes relaxation, making it an ideal oil to apply when stress levels are high. Due to its versatility and soothing properties, lavender is considered a must-have oil to have on hand at all times. If you don't have some lavender, you are definitely going to want to have it today. It's very widely used for its calming qualities and helps to ease feelings of tension. So stress, again, we talked about trailering, horse shows, things like that. So lavender, how to use it. This is one that you can use internally, topically, or aromatically. Believe it or not, you can use it internally. So topically, you can apply 4 to 6 drops as needed. You can diffuse it or apply it topically about 15 to 20 minutes before a stressful event. So if you know you have a horse that's difficult to maybe put in the trailer because they get really anxious, apply it about 15 to 20 minutes before you head out. And then you can also use 20 drops diluted in water in a 4-ounce spray bottle. You can spray it on their blanket, stall, bedding, halter, whatever. And you can also add it to the shampoo or conditioner or apply it directly to the area of interest. So if you have a cut, scrape, things like that, I really like using lavender, frankincense, and melaleuca for those cuts, scrapes, bruises, things like that, which of course horses inevitably get, right? And then I have my recipe here for a calming spray for horses. It's 20 drops of lavender, 10 drops of Serenity, which is our calming blend, 10 drops of Balance, which we already talked about today, and a 2-ounce carrier oil. And then you put it in a 2-ounce spray bottle, shake it before you use it, and then spray it on your horse for calming prior to a stressful event. So really great little recipe there you can use. Now we're going to talk about peppermint. I always have it with me. So peppermint promotes healthy respiratory function and clear breathing. This promotes a healthy digestive tract. So it is one of the oils in Digestin that we talked about. If you don't have Digestin, but you have peppermint, that's a great one to keep on hand. It does repel bugs naturally, particularly ticks. Super great for that. And it supports healthy blood pressure, soothes sore muscles, and can be used aromatically, topically, or internally. This is a really great oil to have on hand. And they love it, right? So just be careful when you carry peppermint out, especially if you're in a field with a bunch of horses. They're going to just like mop you. They absolutely love it. So now we're going to talk about copaiba, or copaiba, kind of tomato. So this is, oh my gosh, guys, this is extremely versatile. It's a very calming oil, very, very calming. So, and it also supports several different body systems. So it's great for the cardiovascular system, the immune system, the digestive system, the urinary tract, the respiratory system, the musculoskeletal system, and the nervous system. So all of those systems, it helps support. It relaxes sore muscles and joints. It supports the hepatic system, so your liver, and then promotes lymphatic flow, which is really important when we get kind of swellings and things like that, right? So this is a foundation for cellular health. It's very emotionally very relaxing and can be used to help soothe and calm anxiousness and decrease stress when your horse is feeling overwhelmed. It's also really great for spooky horses. So I like using this one in conjunction with lavender and frankincense, or just lavender for stress type situations. And then I love using this in conjunction with bergamot, with or bergamot, tomato, with negative type behavior. So your horses that are weaving or cribbing or things like that, those are the two oils that I like to reach for in those situations. Aroma Touch is one that, guys, you guys can make your own liniment out of this stuff. It's so good. This one supports and soothes healthy joints, tendons, ligaments, and muscles. You can apply it topically for a relaxing massage. This oil is perfect for all horses, all ages. If they're in work, if they're not in work, if they're senior, if they're young, this is almost as awesome as balance. Just you can use it for different things. But it supports lymphatic flow and circulation. So it's a great one to apply to legs after workouts and along the back. So it promotes relaxation of tense muscles. And it's really great for circulation and lymphatic flow. So for making your own liniment, I usually use about 40 drops of Aroma Touch, 10 drops of lemongrass in a 4-ounce spray bottle. Top it off with, you can use some witch hazel, you can use distilled water, and then make sure you just shake it before you use it every time. The oil will sit on top a little bit, and then spritz it on your horse's legs or back or wherever they need some support. The next oil we're going to talk about is frankincense. So when in doubt, get the frankincense out. That's what we always say. It's the king of oils. This promotes healthy cellular health and DNA integrity. So really, really good for any kind of lumps, bumps, bruises, cuts, scrapes, like we talked about. Lavender, melaleuca, and frankincense. That's kind of my my overall kind of healthy skin spray. And then it supports healthy function of the nervous system as well. It's really great for horses that get a little weakness in the back end. Great for skin health. It promotes a healthy inflammatory response as well. So if you're getting an unhealthy inflammatory response, you want to use some frankincense. And this oil can be used topically, internally, and aromatically. I love this one. I think you should use it every day with your horses. On Guard is our protective blend. This is a blend of wild orange, clove, cinnamon, eucalyptus, and rosemary. So it's really, really good for respiratory health. It's got a lot of natural antioxidants in it. It helps protect against environmental threats. So, when you kind of get the crud moving through the barn, you want to grab your On Guard. And it supports healthy respiratory function, which I already said. And you also can use it to clean your water troughs, your buckets, stall surfaces, sanitize your hands after riding or working with horses before moving on to the next horse. And then it's really actually safe to use around all species. So you can make your own like barn spray with this, like surface spray, with really like about 20 drops of On Guard and 1 cup of white vinegar and top off the rest of it with distilled water. You can put a little bit of the On Guard cleaner concentrate or the hand soap in there to kind of disperse it a little bit better so it doesn't just sit on top. And then you can use this in a 32-ounce spray bottle. So big bottle. and you can shake it before you use it and then spray everything with it. So your barns, your walls, your troughs, your buckets, all the stuff. Really, really great oil to have on hand for overall just keeping things clean, keeping everybody healthy. This is one that you put in their water as well to help maintain the herd health. Melaleuca is another one that everybody's heard of. I already mentioned it for my skin spray, right? And this is tea tree oil, right? And it's very diverse and excellent for all things skin, particularly when combined with lavender and frankincense. It's known for its purifying properties. It promotes healthy immune function. It improves skin, hoof, coat, mane, and tail health. So it's very, very good for that. And it's very helpful in wet or humid climates. And so you want to use it, sometimes they get that kind of crud along their back or on the back of their pasterns or even on the front of their cannon bones. This is the one that you're going to want to reach for those types of situations. Any kind of hoof condition, you're going to want to use Melaleuca. So here's one hoof recipe. This is our funky feet recipe. So if you got some funks going on in your feet, you want to use 20 drops of oregano, 20 drops of Melaleuca, 5 drops of On Guard. Yes, this is very strong. Optionally, you can add some arborvitae in there, and you put it in a 2-ounce spray bottle top it off with carrier oil. And then if you're soaking the bottom you're soaking the foot in Epsom salts, let it dry, and then you can spray this on there afterwards, just on the bottom of their hoof like that. So it's a pretty strong one. You can actually also add this into your hoof soak as well, these oils. And I usually just put 2 to 5 drops of each in the hoof soak as well. Just be careful it doesn't go up above the coronet band, because these are hot oils. Oregano is a very hot oil. You don't want to irritate that skin, especially with it sitting in the water like that. So just be careful with that. Cool. There's a hoof recipe for you. So Breathe is our next blend. This is the respiratory blend. It has laurel leaf, peppermint again, eucalyptus, Melaleuca, lemon, ravensara, and cardamom in it. And this is basically what you would use it for, what you would think you would use it for. So anytime you need support with the respiratory tract, you're going to want to reach for Breathe. So apply this topically to the chest, the pole, diffuse it. This is another one where I'll often use this one for that steam tenting method that I talked to you about. It opens up the airways. This is one that's not recommended for internal use, so you can use it topically or aromatically, but not internally. Use the peppermint for internal use. And then I often get asked about horse shows. So if you are at a rated event, you'll want to double check the rules and regulations for that event. So USEF and FEI competitions are sanctioned, and they do not allow what they call performance enhancing substances, and that does include herbs. And because herbs are in there, essential oils are as well. And I know specifically for those ones, you're not going to want to use lavender or Roman chamomile or oils like that. So just be aware as the exhibitor or the trainer, so you are the one responsible for knowing what those policies are and acting accordingly. So be aware of the policies regarding herbal remedies and supplements as well. So double check your supplements. A lot of people use supplements and they just think it's safe because it's just a supplement, but there are some herbs in there that might not be allowed in certain competitions. Review your organization's policy before you go to the event and be prepared for it. Just be knowledgeable, be educated. And then just know that essential oils typically do not last in a horse's system for more than 12 to 24 hours. And that is a very generous estimation, okay? A lot of times they're out of their system in 4 to 5 hours. So some organizations don't permit the use of certain herbs or oils. So just really, really be aware of that. And it's your responsibility to be familiar with those rules because it does vary from event to event. And I certainly don't know what your event requires, allows, or does not allow. So you want to be people of integrity, right? Okay, so, this slide is wrong, but basically we definitely want you to get started today. Some of the benefits of starting with me today, you do get exclusive private consultations with me. These usually run $50 to $100 each, and those are unlimited. You get added to exclusive Facebook groups and the membership group for free, and you absolutely will get personalized support from me and my team. We are all in this together. If you have any questions, I'm here for you. You'll also get my phone number, so you can call or text me anytime. So those are some of the benefits. There's more than that. I don't want to go through all of them. There's a ton of them. So I would love to have you. So we have our Home Essentials kit here. It has some of the oils that we talked about today. So it has frankincense, lavender, melaleuca, peppermint, breathe, digescent, and on guard. So it does not have the aroma touch, the balance, or the copaiba. But if you get this one today, if you guys are watching this in July, copaiba does actually come with this kit because it's one of our promotions for this month in July of 2018. So if you're watching the replay, it doesn't apply to you. Make sure you reach out to me to find out what the promos are for the particular month that you're watching it. So this one doesn't have the aroma touch or balance in it. You can always add those on. It does have deep blue, which you can use kind of instead of aroma touch. But it also has lemon and oregano in it. You know, we talked about using oregano in that funky foot recipe. This one's $275. I do recommend getting this kit. It's kind of a starter kit around horses. You save $86 with this one. Super great deal. And you also get a diffuser, which you can use in your tack room or your home or your barn bathroom to keep things smelling awesome and keep the air clean. We also have our Natural Solutions kit. This one is a little bit more expensive, but it's definitely worth it because you actually save over $200, $220 with this one. It comes with the box to store your oils in, so your horses don't just knock down your bottles of oil all the time. It does have shampoo and conditioner in it, which you can use with horses. It has the fractionated coconut oil. It has Correctax, which you can also use on wounds. And it has all of the oils that we talked about today, except for copaiba, which actually you can get if you're ordering in July as well. It comes free with this kit, along with wild orange, and we have some other awesome oils in this one. So this one also comes with some things to help your rider, your equestrian, whether you trail ride or you show extensively at Grand Prix level. The Lifelong Vitality Pack, the digestive enzymes, and the probiotics are going to help keep you healthy. It's going to help you feel younger. It's going to help you feel better. It's going to help reduce all those aches and pains that you might get after a hard ride. These are absolutely an essential for everyone who rides horses. This kit is awesome. You also get next month a free $100 worth of product if you place another order. So lots of cool stuff with this one. You can't go wrong. I think every horse person should have this oil. And it comes with the Lumo diffuser, which is an ideal diffuser to use in your home, especially if you have dogs and cats in your home. So we also, if those are not really in your budget, we have a smaller kit. This is $150. This has the exact same oils as the Home Essentials kit, but they're all 5 milliliters. So there's only 85 drops in these ones. It's $150 with the Home Essentials kit, 15 milliliters, 250 drops for less than twice the price. You get 3 times the oil. So this one I don't really talk about a lot. You do save $36 if you get this one as a kit as opposed to getting the individual oils. It's also just a great kit to get started with if you're on a budget and you need these oils right away. So go ahead and get started with me. If you want to, you go to my.doterra.com/eovet. Click Become a Member at the top right corner and follow the instructions on the screen. If you're having any trouble ordering, let me know. Send me an email or message me on Facebook. If you're already a member, that's cool too. You can join my membership group. All you have to do is go to my Essential Oil Vet Facebook page and click sign up. There's a button at the top of the screen. Click sign up. There's a form that you fill out. I also put the links for both of these in the description of this video. So go ahead and click on those. Get started today. I would love to have you as part of my team or on my membership group. All right, now we have some time for some questions. Let me escape out of this. Okay, so let's see if we have any questions. Grab my Facebook here. Not the most flattering thing. Okay, so anybody have any questions? Yes, digestion is awesome. Regina, Sharon, awesome. And Jamie and Casey Smith, yes, you can absolutely use all of these with cattle the exact same way you use them with horses. And Tina's already part of my membership group. She loves it. That's awesome. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. So Regina, definitely use Digestin and keep using that. You can up it. So I promise you guys, I would tell you kind of like my daily what to use with horses. And you can just mix it with their feed as far as supplements when it comes to essential oils. And I recommend using 2 drops frankincense, 2 drops Digestin, 2 drops of wild orange. Okay. And there's one more. What is it? I'm drawing a blank. Copaiba. So 2 drops of copaiba twice a day, mixed with their food, and it will help with overall inflammation. It'll help with maintaining a healthy horse overall, healthy gut, healthy inflammatory response, overall health. So love, love, love those oils. You get all of them with the Natural Solutions kit. With the Home Essentials kit, you'll get the wild orange as well, but not the copaiba, and the copaiba this month. With the Family Essentials kit, you get the wild orange, but not the copaiba. So I hope that helps. I hope you guys had learned a lot and that you are able to use essential oils safely with your horses, and you have a little bit more confidence about what to reach for in certain circumstances. And if you have any other questions, go ahead and reach out to me. I do have consultations available. And if you are like, I'm still not sure what to start out with, please reach out to me. I'd love to help you get this today. These are oils that I don't think any barn should be without. All right, guys, I'll see you next time. Bye.